Hey guys, good morning. It's New York Dan from the road today. I had a video that kind of irked me. Something I got to call out. It's not right. Before I even left New York, I had seen this video, and now I'm getting around to doing the film. I'm actually on the road in Pennsylvania today. I wish I could say I was in some kind of exotic camper, but it's actually the hotel. My girlfriend's doing a conference, so I'm going to be here. It's pretty nice though, but get this. Here's some camping action right there in the parking lot. The guy's got a pop out full camper, kind of like Sarasota Tim. I don't know if he's paying for that or not. You know, there's plenty of room here in the parking lot. This is like in a corporate center type hotel thing. And it looks like they have plenty of free space out there. So I got me a hotel breakfast, coffee, all kinds of stuff going here. Look at these muffins here. I got the muffin, I got the bagel, a bunch of stuff for breakfast. And that's just what I brought back with me. I was downstairs before. So it's pretty nice. I'm going to post the rest of my trip actually when we drove through the city. There was some good sights and scenery. Do that later. Since I have time, I have the computer here with me. Gonna be doing a bunch of stuff on my other channel too. Ben's Products probably post some stuff. But anyway, this is what I have the beef with. It's this guy, his channel's called Main Street Moments. I scanned through the channel quickly. I don't have time to fool around with it. It looks like he does some Disney stuff. He's one of these guys that's retired and he kind of does random stuff with his channel. He did one, was entitled, I believe, The Problem with Sarasota Tim. And, well, on the screen it says why he's hated and how he can fix it. But I got a real problem with this guy. He's coming at you from like a high and mighty perspective. I don't think he's being fair. I think he's being kind of pompous. I'm going to show you a clip now. And because my channel's so professional, instead of editing this, I'm just going to turn the phone around and play this. So let's see if we can get this interview. And bear with me. I'm going to start it.
Florida like I do. And he's got a little side hustle handing out samples at the grocery store and the liquor store. And he's just living the life. Well, we found out that was not the truth. Okay. And the reason that he triggers people, well, it's many reasons. But it really started with this prison job thing. And the prison job thing, that really pisses people off, including me. It's very nasty and arrogant of him. You know, people like me and those of you out there like me who work hard to support your wife, to support your family, and make sure that everyone in your family has a good life, people take offense at that. And, you know, this prison job thing, I've known bums in my life like Sarasota Tim, and bums will always tell you they're the ones that are free. They're the free ones. Oh yeah, those of us that work and have a house like I do, or a nice car, or something, you have a prison job. You're a slave to your job. I'm free, I'm free. That's a common thing with losers and bums who don't like to work. And that constant prison job comment that he still does, not as much, but he was doing it a lot back then until he got called out on it. Well, that is when things started to turn against him. But things really started to turn against Sarasota Tim.
I'm going to tell you,
audience viewpoint,
this guy, okay, here's my beef. I'm pissed off. First of all, the guy's saying you're a bum, basically, if you're not working like he is apparently and supporting a wife or doing something traditional job. He's saying that labeling those prison jobs, that's taboo. You can't do that. All right, well, first of all, this guy might be successful at what he does. He might have it easy. He might make money. He might be in a field where he can get work and he likes what he's doing. The problem is, and I have a lot of experience in Florida, my friends, I got the shirt here, Boca Raton. I have friends down there right in the area. That's one of the reasons why I watch Sarasota Tim. I know about the area, and I know a lot of people in Florida. The problem is, this life, there's a few things I want to go over. There's a saying, it says, all men are created equal. Okay, number one, that's not true. That's not true at all. There's a lot has to do about your perception of work and whether or not you're working a prison job. If you're fortunate enough to be in the field that pays well, you have flexibility, you get to do something you like to do, okay, congratulations. But not everyone is in that boat, okay? You can't just start going off on someone, calling them a bum because they wanted to retire early from what they were doing and they wanted to collect their Social Security and actually get to do something that they're passionate about, whatever that might be. Some people, it might be a hobby. Some people, they're into golf, very popular with retirement. Oh, I gotta stop this for a second. Shoot. Okay, so my girlfriend just came back in. This is what I was getting at. When they say all men are created equal, that's just not the case. A lot of people have bad luck and different things happen as they work, as they try to make money. And for a lot of guys, the Social Security is a really good path, a good thing to take early, a good thing to retire on. And if possible, one thing it can do, it can allow you to work less hours than you normally would. All right, you like Sarasota Tim did the side hustle before. Here's the other thing, okay? What I was getting at, some guys, if you have skills, you have a specialty, you might be able to get a great job and you might love what you're doing, right? But for a lot of guys, that's not the case. If you don't have enough skills, if you have trouble doing stuff, the job that you're going to have to take is one that you're going to have to work a lot of hours, okay? You're not going to get paid the right amount of money. You're going to be sweating the whole time you're working. You're not going to be enjoying it. Therefore, calling it a prison job, I'm just getting a piece of paper that fell out. Calling it a prison job is accurate, okay? And you can't get mad at Sarasota for saying something like that. That's a great description of a lot of jobs where people are working them just because they need the paycheck. It's not about it's not their passion. It's not what they would really like to be spending their time with, okay? Now, yeah, if your work is your passion, God bless you, that's great. And there are some guys, when they retire, they actually have a real problem. They can't occupy themselves. They have no hobbies. They don't know what to do with themselves. And their wife gets mad at them. The wife will get tired of them being around the house. She'll be like, hey, don't hang out here so much. A lot of times people get divorced actually when the guy retires. So it's a bad scene. It's a really bad scene, unfortunately. So the thing is, the other thing I wanted to say, a lot of these jobs that I'm talking about, or Sarasota, he may have been in sales, and I have friends in Florida that are in that sales field. Okay, whatever you're selling, if anyone ever read the book Death of a Salesman, right? Is that by Harper Lee, if I'm not mistaken? The problem with sales, or a lot of jobs in general, that they pay you with a commission structure. That commission pay scale is just a way to gyp workers out of fair pay. It saves the company a lot of money. They don't have to pay you if you can't produce results for them. If you can't make them rich, they don't have to pay you. Isn't that great? Even if you spend, you're working like overtime, a huge amount of hours, you're not getting paid for it. And they can just throw the excuse back at you. Oh, well, it's very easy. You can make six figures with this job. You just have to sell X amount of product. You just have to close this amount of deals. It's a dirty trick that the corporate world uses, even smaller businesses that are fly by night. They get people to hire on. They don't want to pay them a fair wage. It sucks. It sucks. So if you don't have the right skills, if you're not a mastermind genius, you don't have advanced degrees, you're not going to get that great job. You're not going to be working at Google. You're going to be trying to scrape by getting paid a commission, trying to sell a product, clocking in at an hourly job that may not pay the right amount of money. It's a mean world. This is not fair by any means how things work, okay? And it sucks. But no matter what country you're in, no matter where you live, I don't care whether you have pure capitalism or you have communism or socialism, you're still going to have this. This is it's the way of the world, unfortunately. Some people make a lot of money. It's also, a lot of it's luck. You may have just been in the right place at the right time where you hit it lucky and you made money. It doesn't happen to everyone. It does not happen. A lot of people, they're forced to work. I have a friend in Florida. I'm going to tell you about some real life people that I know. Okay, this guy in Florida, I know, he worked all his life. He was a very hard worker, right? He was doing carpentry, laboring, doing construction. He was taking like day labor jobs. He lived right around the area. Sarasota lived by Boynton Beach. He was actually having to go all the way into Miami to do work, to get jobs doing construction. This was a few years back. The guy was he was around 60, right? How long can you work doing that kind of extreme work? I mean, going up on elevators, going to unfinished building floors. It's a dangerous job. High rises in Miami. You're doing all kinds of work on them. He told me he was setting rebar up for cement pouring. This is hardcore work. When he got to be 60, I think she's out. When he got to be 60, he was having health problems, right? He couldn't do that kind of hardcore work anymore. My friend Steve in Florida. After that, he was trying to get jobs doing that sales stuff, doing the call center. And I have a bunch of guys, 3 or 4 guys I know, actually 4. They live in Florida, they do the call centers, because it's a job you can do if you're older. You sit down and you just put the headset, you don't have to lift construction materials. The problem is it's that commission thing. The companies, a lot of them are fly by night. If the product doesn't sell, they can just blame the worker. They can lay people off at a drop of a hat. Florida has right to work, they call it. My friends tell me that means that a company can get rid of you like that. They are not held really accountable. It's got its benefits, it's got its disadvantages, depending upon how you look at it. I'm just telling you the facts. And the whole thing is with Steve, okay, he got older, so he had to do that kind of work, right? Then the rents were going way up in the Florida area. Just like Sarasota, he ended up having to move out of his place. The landlord decided to renovate it and jack the rent way up. He went from living in a small house with he even had some roommates, a longtime lady friend of his, and a guy that's practically his son. He kind of like took him under his wing. I believe from one of his, possibly from his ex-wife, but they had to move to something that's more like a hotel, where you have those balconies that you walk up, the old style hotel. They actually turned that into apartments, and it's in an expensive area. It's in the Boca area. The rent cost a fortune, so they had to move into something like that. All right. Hey, baby.
Hey, go.
You want to be in my video?
Hello.
We're gonna go to dinner soon. We're getting ready. We're on our road trip here. So, okay. So his rent went way up. He was having to take jobs at restaurants to make the payments, right? And everyone was chipping in. But he's having to do work that he hated. He was having to do work washing dishes, do local restaurants, just to keep his car running. His car, he had a Toyota, and the thing was on it. It had a lot of miles on it. You need repairs. You can't drive a car for free. No matter what you drive, it costs you. People don't realize every mile you drive is costing you money. Whether you drive electric, whether you drive gas, your car is devaluing. It's going to need repairs. It's terrible. It's the way it works. So you need to have that job. You need to have the income coming in. This guy was forced to work his prison job. That's what he was doing. That's exactly what he was doing. And unfortunately, that story has a very sad ending. And I'm not even going to tell you what happened to that guy. I may do a tribute video to him on my other channel or this one. But all I'm going to tell you is he's no longer with us. So I get very irked when I see this Main Street guy being so pompous and putting out a video like that. All right? And calling people bums. It's not right. Now, I have another friend in Florida, in that area, who he actually has a condo that he came to live in that because his parents moved down there to retire. His dad passed away, unfortunately. His mom ended up in a nursing home. So he has his condo to himself, but the problem is there are so many guys down there in a bad way. He can't even tell anyone that he's living in that condo. They will come to his door, bang on it, and try to move in there. That's how bad the situation is. That's how desperate. There's a lot of guys in a bad way in that area. And it's gotten very, very expensive in South Florida. The weather's great. A lot of people move down there. Guys go down there thinking it will be great, but it's not. It's not. It's very hard down there. My friend and I, we say BYOB, bring your own bucks. It's very expensive, South Florida, because of the weather, because a lot of people that are rich move down there, and they keep, they are all retired. So even if you're working in a restaurant, even if they're rich, they're not going to give out big tips. Everyone's on a fixed income down there. So it's a tough road. So what I'm saying, I think Tim's exactly right with the prison job concept. And, if you are lucky enough to be one of those people that got where you do your job is your passion, by all means do it. I mean, that's fine, and that's your choice. But you can't throw other people under the bus that aren't as lucky as you are. All right? So that's what I wanted to tell you guys about today. And I will be making some better videos up on a lighter note here too. Subscribe, hit thumbs up. I'll see you in the next one.